Hey, hello, leaders. This is Paul Grau Jr., and welcome back to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. So, today I want to talk about there are three things really that most underperforming teams lack. All right. So, this comes from Harvard Business Review, one of or probably my favorite magazine in the world, or journal, whatever you want to call it. But they said that most underperforming teams don't lack skill. They lack clarity, trust, and internal alignment. Now, when you think about those three things, clarity, what comes to mind? To me, what comes to mind is people aren't clear on their roles, their responsibilities, their tasks that they have to perform, maybe even the expectations of them, they might not be clear on. And more people that I talk to in the workforce, this subject of clarity comes up all the time. They don't know what their boss expects from them. They don't know what they should expect from other people. They don't know if they're meeting the target or not meeting the target. They're not trained well enough. They're misplaced in a job. They're in the wrong job. They don't get along with their team members because they don't understand each other. Clarity, clarity, clarity. So clarity can be fixed through onboarding. That's where clarity should become evident right off the bat. When somebody new is coming into your organization, you need a very well-designed onboarding program. Now, I suggest that the immediate supervisor should walk that person through the onboarding process. And a part of that is the initial feedback, the expectations, show them around, get them acquainted with everything, tell them exactly what's expected of them, and really give the immediate supervisor, the immediate leader, an opportunity to connect with that person. If that first person automatically, right off the bat, feels connected with their supervisor, they're not going to be afraid to go to their supervisor and ask questions like, I don't understand this. I haven't been trained properly to do this job. I don't know what my expectations or what the expectations of me are. These are all questions that nobody should have to work in that environment not knowing those things. But a lot of them are not comfortable going to their supervisor because they don't have that connection. They don't have any relationship. Well, I'm telling you, if an immediate supervisor walks that person through onboarding, sure, there's going to be some, common stuff like computer stuff and IDs and stuff like that. But again, that immediate supervisor can take a half a day and just dedicate their time to onboarding that person. It's going to pay dividends in the long run because clarity can be resolved right off the bat. You want to make sure when that person goes home after that first day, they're not thinking, what the hell did I just get into? You want them thinking, man, this is going to be freaking awesome. I know what's expected of me. I know where I need help. I know my supervisor. They left me with their point of contact information. They even gave me their cell number, et cetera, et cetera. You want that person jazzed up after day one. You don't want them overwhelmed thinking, what did I just get myself into? The second thing is trust. And trust, again, when that onboarding takes place, this is where that immediate supervisor or leader can really start developing that trust. And sure, trust, I always say, all right, my common saying here, quote, is trust is a two-way street, right? You each need to trust each other. However, it starts in a one-way alley. And that one-way alley is where the leader has to trust the individual or the employee or the team member first. Because if that leader shows that they trust that person's going to be more apt to trust the leader and trust the other people on their teams. But trust must start with the leader. And the leader must give the team member or employee a long enough rope to be able to earn that trust. All right. So you don't want to keep them under lock and key and micromanaging them all the time. Let them go on their own. Give them an opportunity to do things that are going to build that trust. And then finally, the third thing, that internal alignment. Now, internal alignment is kind of how everything within the company, all the different parts of the organization, how it all kind of harmonizes, all right? How it all basically is in alignment. And this could be anything from strategy, the structure, the job design, the people, the processes, working together. All of this is a part of that internal alignment. Now, internal alignment, one section that I want to focus on is the people. Are the people all looking in the same direction? Big picture when it comes to the organization. Because if you can get everybody on the team looking in the same direction, and that direction is whatever your vision says it is, if all of your people on your team are looking in that same direction, man, you're ahead of the game. They are all in alignment because they all know what the vision is. Now, then it comes back to the mission. Do they know their mission? Are they all in alignment with what the mission is? And that is what you do, the daily things that you do that are getting you closer to that vision. That's the mission. It's the action that you're taking. Are they in alignment? The other thing is that you really want the people to be in alignment with is communication, knowing each other's roles, so everybody can stay in their own lanes and they don't cross over into somebody else's lanes, because that causes misalignment. That causes a really bad out of alignment team. When you got people crisscrossing, going in other people's lanes when they're not supposed to, that's going to kill trust. That's also going to bring up a clarity issue. So that internal alignment, it's a whole lot of stuff, and I'm not even going to go into strategy and structure and processes and stuff like that, but your people all need to be in alignment, and they all need to communicate better. They all need to be able to communicate with each other. Now, I used a DISC assessment primarily in the organization as a communication tool. And it is the best communication tool that I've ever seen. Because once you understand where you are or what behaviors you display in the DISC, then you can identify where other people lie in the DISC, what their dominant behavioral styles are, and then you know how you can communicate with them the most effectively. And everybody speaks a different language. If you've been listening for any amount of time, you know that everybody speaks a little bit different language. Some people want clear details. Some people want lots of facts and figures and numbers. Some people just want you to tell them what needs to be done. And some people, man, you better not waste their time. You better be short and sweet to the point and get out of their way. So you can figure all this out by using the DISC, and that's how I help companies really communicate and have better, effective communication. So again, the three things that most underperforming teams lack are clarity, trust, and internal alignment. Hopefully I gave you some tips today to bring more clarity, for lack of better words, or more knowledge of these three areas. Hey, that's it for today. Come on back tomorrow, and until then, run to your challenges. And oh, by the way, tomorrow is the weekend edition, so I hope to see you then.